Feeling of tension that you are describing as sadness or tears is what it feels like when you are not a vibrational match to your own desire. If there's anything that we want you to remember when you leave this gathering, it is, my work is to find my desire and vibrationally match it. In other words, that's all. And relief means you have stopped the resistance so that you are in vibrational harmony. You then are again a vibrational match. So, tell us something, 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 1, experiences from your first meeting. In other words, what was it about this person that rang your bells? Now, do you remember him loving you, and do you remember liking it?
Oh, yes.
In what ways did he project that to you? In other words, in what way, other than the fact that he said it, what kinds of things made you know it? In other words, he went on with other aspects of his life, but something, in other words, you weren't making it up, you weren't imagining it. Something made you know he loved you, and you liked that. So start there. In other words, try to remember, when was the first time you realized that he loved you? Was it the day you met? Was it a month later? Where were you? And feeling the anticipation of what was going to come the next day?
Absolutely.
And do you remember feeling exhilaration that you'd met someone that was significant and you could sort of feel the energy bubbling? Remember that feeling of enthusiasm and excitement?
Yes.
And adventure, not really knowing how it would unfold? And so then when you got together on the second day, where did you go? And do you remember the feeling of well-being? Do you remember your exhilaration that he seemed to be enjoying it as much as you were?
Absolutely.
In other words, you had not made an agreement with somebody to go do something that one of you wanted to do and the other one didn't want to do. You both, from the variety of choices that you could have made the same choice and managed to bump into each other. Isn't it interesting how the universe caused that rendezvous of two people finding harmony with each other? And you remember that feeling of elation that you felt as it begins to unfold.
Yes.
Now, as you are here, it took a little while to get there, but you're in that feeling of relief. But the point is, nothing has changed in your current relationship, but you managed, with a little selective sifting and a little deliberate intent, you've managed now to find vibrational harmony with your desire. Which means your relationship is going to improve even as soon as today you will see more loving evidence of it. In other words, just with that little bit of attention to what you want in an environment that does not resist it. You see what happens? We were talking with a man not too long ago who was feeling great discomfort because his wife was not wanting to be with him sexually like she did in the beginning of the relationship. And he was so conflicted about it, feeling such struggle about it. He wanted her to want him, and he certainly wanted her. But she was not interested. She always had some reason that she didn't think it was a very good idea. And as time had gone by, she had gotten very good at coming up with reasons, which was leaving him feeling rejected and annoyed. And in time, he became such an observer of her behavior that he was downright irritated about it. He was even considering leaving her and finding someone more receptive to him, except that they had so much in their relationship that mattered, he hated to throw it out because of this. And we said to him, well, we don't have time here to go back to how this all started, but we said to him, we can tell you right now that there's no possibility of her coming to you now with the vibration that we're feeling from you, because she can't buck your current. He said, what do you mean? And we said, your desire is for one thing, but your observation is so much of something else. So the more you want it, but the more you notice that you're not getting it, the more you're offering an energy that she can't make her way through. So she's finding herself feeling differently about you than she wants to feel, but she doesn't know why. This happens so often in relationships where you're both blaming each other because you don't feel the way you want to feel, but neither one of you has taken the time to go back to the feeling place where you felt the way you want to feel. You get the sense of what we're talking about? To do some selective sifting in your memory, or you have to make it up. Did you see the movie Delirious?
No.
Esther happened to catch it on television one night. It's an old movie, but as she saw it, she recognized remnants of what Abraham has been talking about. A man who is a writer discovers a magic typewriter. And he discovers fairly early on that whatever he types as he writes these scripts or screenplays happens. And not only does he notice that, but he notices that he can write it, and it happens, and then as it happens, he can fine-tune it and realize, oops, wanted a little more that way. He can go back and do a rewrite and live it over again more the way he wants it to be. And we say to you, it's not so different from that. You are the vibrational writers of your script, and everyone else in the universe is playing the part that you have assigned to them, you see. So if there is anything that we want to say to you, and so many others who stand in the same place that you are, it is you must muster your power of imagination and release your habit of observation. And that's hard, because even now, when we're wanting to solicit from you what you do want, you keep thinking you have to explain where you stand. In other words, that's a sort of physical habit of so many people for so many years have said, how are you? You always think you have to answer. So many people have said to you, face reality, or why did you do that? So many people have been seeming to want to know, why is it that you stand right here in this failing place that I observe you in, that you have become defensive? You feel that you must explain why you're not soaring or why life isn't better. There's this feeling of needing to explain to others, and we want you to know they're not really interested. In other words, it's just polite conversation that they've been offering all along. If somebody asks you something, ask them, why do you ask? And you'll be able to separate right there those who really want to know and those that are just using it instead of hello, you see. And then you write some scripts. Now, what we would encourage you to do, literally write some scripts. Begin to talk about the relationship that you want, which means you're going to have to spend more time envisioning what you do want or remembering the good parts of what you had before than you are observing what is. Take control of your experience and stop blaming him for the way you feel. If you write about happiness, the sadness will go away. If you write about more fun, those times of not communication will go away. Write living happily ever after into the script. You see, your fear is that if I get so clear about what I want and he's not a match to it, then he'll go away. That's really what you're saying. And what we're wanting you to understand is if you get clear about what you want and are pure in your vibration about it, you'll evoke that from him. You had it once. You'll evoke that from him. You see, you cannot lose in all of this. The thing that we want so much for you to hear is if you've got somebody's aspects in your experience that you don't like, there's only one reason they're there. You keep evoking them with your attention to them. You have, without knowing about law of attraction, you, through your old habit of observation, achieve vibrational harmony with the parts of them that you do not like. And you keep summoning those parts from them by your constant vibrational offering of them.